Hello and welcome again. We are going to rebuild the beginner tutorial. I am currently using Blender 4.2.1. You might be using an older version, or maybe even a newer version, but I've been using Blender since like version 2 something. And most of the things we're going to see here are identical to what yours will look like. So let's get started. Welcome to Blender. This panel right here, this is the viewport display where most things happen. You will notice down here in the corner, I've got a little mouse. My little screencast keys are going to show what I'm going to do. For example, the first thing we're going to learn is zooming in. Use the wheel in, use the wheel out. Woo, zoom, zoom, zoom. Now you push down on the wheel, the middle mouse, and move the thing, and look at that. You're orbiting around. Orbit, zoom, orbit, zoom. Now hold down the shift key and push down the middle mouse button, and you will slide side, 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 side. Let's do this. Go way in the middle of nowhere. And try and find, oh, it's over there. And if you try and zoom, you can't find it. Oh, no. So there's a solution to this one. I'm glad that we've run into our first problem. On the number pad of your keyboard, not the number line, the number pad. That's the numbers on the right-hand side of the keyboard in a little box. You're going to push the delete button. Now, that sounds scary. We're going to delete stuff, but we're actually not going to delete anything. We're going to hit the delete button. It's or the decimal, the period button, and watch what happens. Whoop. Look at that. We zoom right back in on our cube. All right. Zoom in and out. Okay. That's exciting and all, but let's do some building of stuff. We are going to start by going up here, looking in this corner where it says object mode. If I click on that, there's a whole bunch of other modes. We are first at the beginning here. We're going to talk about edit mode first. We'll maybe get to these ones later, but that's not really beginner stuff. So edit mode. Notice when you go to edit mode, a whole bunch of stuff changes. The panel over here changes. The things along the top change. Let's go back and forth to see that change. Ooh, look at it go. Now, using this button up here is fairly slow. You can instead use the tab button on the keyboard. Edit mode, object mode, edit mode, object mode. Okay, give that a try. Okay, we are going to start building something really amazing. A tree. The first thing I want you to note in edit mode is when you're in edit mode, the Blender breaks the object into 3 separate pieces. This is really important stuff. Vertices. Each of these little dots is a vertex. Okay, it's a point in 3-dimensional space. It's got an X value, a Y value, and a Z value. We'll talk about those a little bit later, but an X, Y, Z value. Okay, this cube starts with 8 vertices. Okay, 4 on top, 4 on the bottom. When I select edge select, that one there, and I click, I am selecting an edge. Now, what is an edge? If I go back to vertex select, you see that when I select an edge, I actually am selecting 2 vertices, because all the stuff we're going to be doing is really talking about moving, changing location of, or adding new vertices. That's what we're going to do. We're going to play around with vertices. Sometimes we're going to do it from edge select. Sometimes we're going to do it from face select. So in face select mode here, I can select different faces. But as we talked about in vertices, in edges, how many vertices have I selected or am I selecting when I click on a face? An edge was 2 from here to there or from here to there. How many vertices am I selecting when I click on a face? Let's find out. Boop. 4. And that is true in this case. So a face can be anything with 3 or more vertices. 3 or more vertices. So a very simple challenge. I want you to select some vertices. I want you to select some edges. I want you to select some faces. Orbit, select, orbit, select. Okay. Now, just like there's a shortcut key for going object mode, edit mode, remember what it is? It's the tab button. Tab, 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 tab. There's a shortcut key, and you should learn these because it'll speed everything up. 1, we'll switch to vertex select. 2, we'll select edge select. And 3 is face. So get used to those. It just speeds things up a lot. All right. Try those things out. Selecting all these things. And we're done our first video. Way to go. You're well on your way to learning a few things about Blender.